Did you know that for this movie, the car made for the fictional F1 team, Apex, was an F2 car with F1 fitting. It was made under supervision of Mercedes. So I went to F1 with a pretty good expectation. I've been hearing some really great things about this movie. I really enjoy the director Joseph Kosinski. I love his work with Top Gun Maverick. He really brought a whole lot of excitement back to kind of this world of entertainment. In a way, F1 is like Top Gun Maverick if he was in a racing car. But it's a lot more than that. This movie actually really blew away my expectations. I went into this movie not really expecting a whole lot. I was expecting to be entertained, which I was. But the three things I'm going to list right now are the things why this movie just really blew me away. So here are three things that I love, and the last thing is definitely my favorite. First thing I love about this movie is the performances from Brad Pitt, Damson, Idris, and Javier Bardem. So starting with Brad Pitt, I just have to say this just to say it. Dude is 61 years old, and he has aged incredibly well, but he's also still got that charm, that charisma. He's still that womanizer, the same womanizer he's always been for 30 years. I mean, it's just so great that he's never lost that, and he just looks so good for his age. And he really gets to turn that on. He really gets to turn on that charisma and that charm, that attitude that he just carries with him in this movie big time. I mean, that's really what makes the character Sonny just so good, is just his cockiness, his arrogance, but also like he's like old school. He's the cowboy. He's the guy who the rules don't apply to me, and he's a gutsy, dangerous driver. But all of that makes for an amazing character. All that makes for just for like someone you want to cheer for. Like people love rebellious people. People love rebellious characters, and just that drive he has, and just the mentality he has. More people would be like this if they weren't so afraid. Sonny in this movie obviously doesn't give a crap. He will do whatever he's gonna do, and he's willing to go all in. He's willing to make those big risks, those risky calls, because he doesn't want to be like everybody else. I was blown away by Brad Pitt's performance. Second performance is Damson Idris's performance of Josh. I've heard his name, Damson Idris, I've heard his name being thrown around like all the time. I'm not sure where people know him from. I'm very impressed by this actor. I think he could go really far in life. I know there were some people out there who are talking about him maybe being the next Black Panther. I could see it. He could be a good James Bond. He could fit in well in a lot of different movie roles, but his performance is really solid. The biggest thing I really liked about his character is not just like how he really is that cocky guy. He's like what a younger version of Sonny would have been, but his chemistry and just the back and forth between him and Sonny in the movie, like all the time, just jabs after jab, and just calling Sonny out on his BS, and like that was what makes his character so awesome as well, so well rounded. Is he's got the same drive that Sonny does, maybe more so than Sonny, because he's trying to prove himself. And we've all been there where we're trying to make it in life, we're good at what we do, and then some guy who is kind of a has-been comes in and starts messing up everything and almost, putting your future in jeopardy, all because, he couldn't do it when he was younger. He's not taking your feelings or your future into regard. He's just doing it for himself. So his character, Josh's character, is very relatable. So yeah, I was very impressed by his performance. I'm hoping to see him in a lot more things in the future. This movie, I think, is going to be a huge success for him and really put his name on the map. I think after this movie, people are really going to know who Damson Idris is. And one actor I was really excited to see in this movie was Javier Bardem. If you've ever seen him in anything, you know the guy can act. He's got a phenomenal record when it comes to acting. And I really like his character. He's just that close friend of Sonny. He's taking a big risk. He wants to be successful. He's deep in the hole. Sonny is basically his last hope. I mean, that character, like, once again, a lot of people can relate to that. They can relate to throwing that Hail Mary, to putting your faith in someone, but he's also a really sharp businessman who really wants this company, Apex, to do really well and really get on the map when it comes to Formula One. He just has such emotion, such a great presence on screen, and I've loved his performances ever since I saw him in No Country for Old Men. He blew me away in that performance, and ever since then, every time I see Javier Bardem, his name appear, I just know he's going to do a great job. I just know he's going to take the role that he has, and he's going to play it to perfection, and he's going to give an audience a really great performance. Second thing I like about this movie is the story and the life lessons. The story The story is pretty much what I expected it to be. I mean, the trailers made it pretty obvious. It was an underdog story. It has been, depending on who actually never was, coming back, trying to have some redemption, trying to find himself again in the world of F1 racing. So, like, when I first was going into this movie, I'm like, okay, I thought the story would be pretty straightforward, which it is, but the things I was not expecting in this story was the life lessons and just like the very emotional, very strong performances by all three of these actors, specifically Brad Pitt. He just really had such some deep emotional moments in the movie. The life lessons here is a lot of people want to do things for money. Like, you're really good at something, you do for money, but money isn't everything. I mean, it's kind of cliche, but throughout this movie, Sonny was beginning to realize, like, this money is going to fade, the fame's going to fade. I mean, he was even told this to Josh, like, it's all just noise, the media, the social interactions, like, fame and money and fortune is great, but figuring out why you're racing, like, the passion, the heart behind it, it's just something we all need to hear at times. Like, we all have passions in life, we all have gifts in life, we all have something we want to make money at. But at the same time, what happens when you come to the crossroads of, okay, are you going to do it for the money, or are you going to do it because you love it? And if, depending on what you choose, you could either, your life could spiral out of control completely, or your life could change like you've never expected it to. So I mean, it's the big decisions that Sonny had to make in this movie, but also with Josh, he had to make some decisions in the movie too that really would, determine the course of his life. I mean, it was some very heavy tones in this movie, some very heavy decision and emotions and performances. And then my favorite scene in the movie was definitely the end, just the culmination of everything that Sonny and Josh have been through, just the clashing all the time, and just that they're not working together, and there's drama on and off the track, and just, there's no unity, but they finally figured out how to work together. And Sonny had a huge redemption moment in the movie, making up for so much lost time and disappointments and setbacks. Just characters like that who have those big redemption moments and those big arcs in their character, that is what makes for such great character writing and storytelling. And just at the very end of the movie, just the emotions are high, the excitement, the joy, like the true essence of the person is there for everyone to see, that they're doing it, they finally made the decision, and they're doing it for so much more than money and fame. They're doing it because they love it. It's just super inspiring. I love being inspired from movies like this. This movie blew me away. I think it has the potential to win a couple Academy Awards just for how good it is. So I highly recommend go out and see F1 as soon as you possibly can. So for F1, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. So remember to leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What's your favorite racing movie? See you soon.